What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Kelton.
And I'm Miguel Perez.
We're over here at Sidetracked Studio with our guy right here named Frank. He's a great person, allowing us to learn a little bit more about cleaning up this audio, making it crisp, and also giving us this amazing space to record in for this new podcast.
Yes. Frank works with us at the same location we're at, and we've been talking about the podcast, and he said, hey, well, you know what? I got a studio. And I'm like, well, let's get together. Let's go over there. And I was like, hey, great. And we showed up today, and it is just awesome. I'm beside myself. I love this place. Check it out. This
It looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't see the other stuff we're seeing behind here, but man, we've got some crispness going on, man. It looks great.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to have you guys here. More than welcome. It's good for me as well, and I'd like to say hello to everyone out there as well.
Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit. Give us a little back take on you.
I am Frank. I do own this little studio, and as I said, I'm very glad to have these guys here. It's practice for me. I do music audio typically, produce songs, but this podcasting is a little bit new to me, so... And like I thought, we ran into a few things that were not foreseen. It's a little bit different from music. Easier, yet sort of harder.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
back to you guys, man.
And Frank's going to be doing this professionally, right? You're going to open the studio. People want to make music. People want to do recordings and podcasts as well, right, Frank?
That is the intent eventually.
All right. So
I'm
this
an
is
older
good
guy,
promotion
so
for
I'd
you.
like to retire and just fiddle up here in the studio, and if I accidentally make a coin or two, then that's wonderful for all of us.
All right.
sir.
Well, you know, this is between two generations, so if you want more information about that, just let us know. But this week is an exciting topic. We're not going to be talking about dating, but we're going to talk about being single.
Yes, sir.
So, this girl I know, she even commented on one of the messages because I think y'all need to explain what you meant by embracing single. It's something that you said on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you mean by you're embracing your singleness?
Well, really what I was thinking about in that situation was more about understanding that you don't necessarily need a partner at all times. Sometimes it's good for you, especially after breakups or after any type of situation that's going on. We really have to separate ourselves from that type of idea. It's like we don't have to be in a relationship. We don't have to be in a situationship, as some places and people put it. So I like to know that I can embrace myself and be myself and do purely what I want to do and still be there for my kids, be there for other people, be there with friends, but still embrace the single life of not really just doing whatever I want to, but more on the lines of being able to have my self-love, my self-healing, all that stuff going on, because, man, that's important to me. If I'm going to get back in the world and dating somebody, I think that the best idea for myself is to make sure that I'm good to go into a relationship. Because if I bring a lot of baggage with me, that's really not fair for other people.
Well, there's a thing about, I hear people say this all the time. Hey, I need a man. I need a woman. Mm-hmm. To me, that's like the definition of saying I'm not ready. Yeah. I'm not ready for a relationship because it should be no such thing as that. I need somebody in my life. Now, me, I've been divorced 16 years. I've been single the whole time. And I'm not broken. I'm not down. I'm not depressed. I don't feel alone, you know what I'm saying? Because I want somebody in my life, but I don't need somebody in my life. You know what I'm saying?
It's nice having someone there at some points in time, but it's not necessary. Exactly. And the thing is my biggest thing that I've always looked at is if you can't be happy by yourself, how are you supposed to be happy with someone else?
Exactly.
So you should be bringing your happiness. That person should bring their happiness and bring together two sides of happiness and be able to bask in that greatness right there. Instead, you have a lot of people that are so upset in themselves that they try to look for healing outside of themselves, when in reality, my personal opinion, I think you should be looking inside. You should be saying, hey, what is going on inside of me that is creating anger? What is going on inside of me that's creating this frustration? Like, I have a lot of issues I get frustrated with people really badly. And I mean, and you've seen this. I'm like, dude, these freaking people, man. I'm like, dude, what the heck is wrong with people? And I do get frustrated, but I know that anger inside of me is how you explained it. Just go ahead and explain it to them how you did to me.
I forgot what we're talking about.
About pouring the water out thing.
Oh yeah, you get frustrated with somebody, and it's like, man, they just bring this. They bring this out of me. You know what I'm saying? So I showed Kelton a cup of water, and that's like, hey, if I if I spilled this, why does water fall out? And he said, I don't know. I said, because that's what's inside water. You know what I'm saying? So if you got anger being manifested, it's because there's anger in you. It has nothing to do with anybody or anything happening
and
around.
I'm so grateful you reminded me of that, because I did have that understanding. It's just it took another person to sit there and say, hey, bro, like, you've got something else going on still, and you reminded me of something that I once knew was there.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the things why I love embracing being single, because I can work on me and not have to work on like other people being involved.
Yeah, because like I was saying, there's a difference between wanting somebody and needing somebody. You want somebody, great, wonderful, go for it. You need somebody, then you need to hold off, because when you get to the point where you need somebody in your life, what you do, you become a leech, okay? A leech, they hook onto your body and they suck the blood. Blood is your life, and that's exactly what they'll do. They'll suck the life out of you, you know what I'm saying? Because they need you in order to survive, and that's not a real good thing, you know what I'm saying? I studied something a couple years back. I loved it. It's called Singles. It's single actually has absolutely nothing to do with being in a relationship. Okay, and let me explain that. Okay,
absolutely.
The definition of single is to be whole, to be complete, to be one, to have your own identity. Okay, so being single has actually nothing to do with being in a relationship or not being in a relationship. It has to do with oneself. Okay, so when you're single, you're complete. You're whole. You have your own identity. You know what I'm saying? I don't need somebody to make me feel like I'm complete. I don't need somebody to put that smile in me. You know what I'm saying? I don't need somebody to make me feel like life is good. Whether they're there or not, I'm good.
And you have a lot of people that focus so much on the idea of like whenever two people come together that they become one, and they feel like they need that. And that's problematic, because if you can't be whole on your own, then how do you expect to be whole with another person? That doesn't make sense.
You know, when a person gets out of a long-term relationship, they fall apart. A lot of time it's because they weren't single, which means complete or whole or had their own identity. Their identity was in the person they were with.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a whole
so
connection.
now they're gone, and it's like, I don't know what to do with myself. It's like, what do you mean you don't know what to do with yourself? You know, life goes on.
And it is hard. It is hard in that transition, and people have to understand that transition, you need to bask in your own self, bask in your own glory and ideals and everything that you feel as yourself. Because in reality, if you go out, you know, after a breakup, you know, some people, especially my generation, is kind of bad about this. This is one of my biggest problems with my generation, is the hookup culture. So they'll go out and they'll go have sex with someone else, and they'll become so enticed by that mentality of the happiness it brings them, even though it's temporary, and they don't realize that they're breaking themselves. And that's one thing that I have stayed away in the single life, because I can't put myself in those positions where I'm having sex with people and just going out and having fun. Like it doesn't create good situations for me.
Yeah, no, and I think people have seen being single, which is not single, is being alone, as a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? We were created to be alone. You know what I'm saying? All one. You know what I'm saying? And you have to learn to walk in that season before you learn to get into a relationship. Because, like I said earlier, if you can't do it alone, you're not going to be able to bring in somebody and develop a relationship that cultivates them, that becomes better. You can't do it because you only depend on the other person. And then usually, if you don't have that singleness, that one being complete, you're insecure. And when you're insecure going into the relationship, man, dude, you talk about it. That's where jealousy comes out right. Jealousy comes in the rock meeting. Call me. Who's that girl you're looking at? You know, oh man, all kinds of.
And you'll get away with it for a little bit, because you have those people that they tend to mask it for that first 6 months.
Yeah.
And then after that 6 months, it's gone. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, now I caught on. Now I see the true version of yourself. And so people don't realize how problematic that can be.
Yeah, I lived there. Like I said, I've gone 16 years. Frank, you believe that? 16 years of being divorced and being happy? That's a hard thing to do it, but it's not for me. Yeah. I embraced my singleness. I enjoyed my time with my kids. I didn't have to worry about going here, going there. Yeah, I was free. I enjoyed my time. You know, if I want to travel, I travel. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to ask. You don't have to
stay home. I stay home. Want to sleep in, I'll sleep in. I came today, I was like, I'm in a rush. I can do whatever I want because I'm single. I enjoy my single life. There's nothing wrong with it, man. And people just don't like somebody told me the other day, it's like I wanted to go over here, but I didn't want to go by myself, and I was like, why?
It's like there's this one thing that made me realize that was a problem, that I didn't want to go eat by myself. And I started thinking about it. Someone said, well, I don't want to go eat by myself. That's weird. And I'm just like,
as long as you don't get to the point where you can't go to the restroom by yourself.
Well, like, it's just funny because I was just sitting there thinking about it. I was like, how is that a problem that you can't just go eat by yourself? Why is that even a problem? If you're so social dependent on other people to create this environment for your own self, let alone other things, to not allow your own self to do what you want to do. If you want to, dude, I love going eating. Like, for instance, I like food. First of all, I'm gonna go eat me some food. I don't care if anybody's coming or not. I've gone to groups and they're like, let's go eat, and they're sitting there talking about, I'll meet y'all there, dude. Y'all are over here doing this unnecessary stuff, and I'll get my food before they get there. I don't care. I'm eating because I like food, but I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I can't eat by myself. That's weird.
It is
you
weird.
should be able to enjoy that time.
Again, that's a person not embracing their singleness, being alone. I love going out to eat. One of my things to do is getting dressed up. I like going to Sawgrass. I like going to nice restaurants. I sit down, I order me a ribeye steak. I normally sit at the bar because I usually end up meeting people and talking to anybody and everybody, and I'm having a great time. I had one of the best times in my life doing that. Because I'm okay with doing it by myself.
Meeting new people is always nice.
And you rob yourself, you rob yourself of meeting new people when you don't know how to walk alone, all by yourself. You know, it's just not a negative thing.
How are you gonna make friends? How are you gonna get out there in the world and even meet the new girlfriend that may be the girl of your dreams, or even as women, meet that man of your dreams? You're just not gonna do that. And that kind of concept of just sitting by yourself and hoping that you stay at home and someone's gonna show up. No, bro, like, go have fun. Go get a hobby. Go find some sort of purpose in your life. Go, like, for instance, for this right here, this podcast. This is fun for me. This is something that I get entertainment out of, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in the purest form. Like, I love the fact that I can sit here and edit these videos, get something nice and clean. I can put real effort into something, and it turns out to be shown to everybody else, just like other things that I've done in my life. Like, this is something that is very good for me to keep doing.
Yeah. Another reason that I embrace singleness is, you know what? I just don't like drama.
Yeah,
I don't like drama. And you know what? I've met some, and this is not women bashing at all, because some guys are like that, but I met some great women. I think they have potential to be a wife material and stuff like that. But sometimes there's so much drama there, you know what I'm saying, that I just
got to worry about other people than just you and her.
It just shuts me down, because I want to get in a relationship because, hey, you know what, I want companionship. You know, as much as I could do it by myself, go anywhere and everywhere and have a good time, bringing somebody along, you know what, it'd be fun. It'd be great. You know what I'm saying? So when I meet somebody,
being able to share that enjoyment with someone is a great thing.
Let's go check out the movie. Let's go to the lake. Let's do that. But when I meet somebody and right away they just talk about, oh, I had this and my ex this, and man, they just bring up so much, then man, I'm like backing out, because you know what, I know already if I get involved with this person, all this person is talking about right now is just going to become a part of me, and I don't want that. I'm you know what, I went through my stuff, I shed my tears, you know what I'm saying, I went through my season, I'm out of it, and I'm moving forward. I'm not stuck, I'm not broken, I'm not holding on to baggage, and I'm going to put it in front of somebody when I'm going to get in a relationship with them. No, you know what?
But everybody wants to wear their problems on their shoulders.
Yeah,
they want to carry it so far and then expect someone else to fix it, and that becomes problematic in itself. Because I mean, think about it. If you are single and you have all these problems arising in your life, and you create this construct of how you feel you're supposed to live, and you can't really reach that without another person, then why are you trying to source out another person to get that? You're never going to accomplish it by yourself if you keep that mentality, because you can do so much, and people don't realize that you can do so much in this world. You have so much capability, especially with the new age of information. You can learn anything off of a YouTube video, but people are so stuck in this idea of there's always that back step of saying, oh well, if I had this person, I can do this, or if I was in a relationship, I'd be able to. Like you're holding yourself back by just thinking that way.
Yeah, and I think they're not wrong because you get the right person in your life, man. You could develop something great. Look at freaking Frank's studio.
Yeah,
here,
no,
man.
this is amazing.
This is amazing. The man has a beautiful house. He's telling us about his how he worked his his understanding of buying houses and everything like that. But the man has a good woman behind him. You know what I'm saying? So if you find that good woman, yeah, you can. It can be a help,
and that is super important.
It helped me to not lease a bar stool for life. So I had the money for this instead of that.
Yeah, exactly. But she brought stability. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
And
it works
people
for
do
me.
need that.
But the only way that happens is when, again, you're not talking about a woman with drama or all kinds of baggage. You're talking about one that has her head on right. And again, she cultivates you, makes you better. I mean, that's very important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if they're not like that, but let me ask you a question. This might be off.
Yeah, go ahead. No,
it's weird.
Take it wherever we need to go.
I hear this 1,000 times over. I disagree, but do you think? And you can chime on this one, Frank. Men and women can be friends and just friends.
Go ahead and answer that, Frank, because I've got a bad answer.
I think
not
that,
real. I mean,
I
real
think
talk.
the inherent hesitation amongst all of us right there, that's not practiced. That was real world. I think that says volumes. I'm not even sure I want to go there.
Well, I can tell you right now, I think that
Because I think that's a girl thing developed.
it is.
It's not a guy thing.
And there's a thing, okay, so there's women that I can say that would be my friend, but I don't ever hang out with them. I've never once texted them and stuff like that. I just see them out and like, hi, you're my acquaintance more than a friend. I just know of you and you know of me. But allowing myself to be friends with a female, especially in relationships, that's a no-no. Because we're all human. We have sexual needs sometimes, and sometimes we seek those needs from other people, and that creates problems.
Well, the whole thing is okay, you got girls and guys.
Excuse me,
God-given natural is they're attracted to one another physically. That's what it is.
It keeps falling on me.
But you you meet somebody, you start talking and everything like that, and all of a sudden it's like, you're my friend. I don't develop friendships with women. That's just not my thing. You know what I'm saying? I know them.
Well, usually most
we'll
people
talk, we'll hang out, but you're not my friend. I'll make it very clear. I don't do
well,
female
most people,
friends.
whenever they're women having
Because I
friends
know
with
me,
men's, women having friends with, or women being friends with men, the women see it as a particular, oh, well, he's just a friend. And then you have the other side of it where men, we know what the heck we're doing in that situation. We know what we want. Let's just be honest. Men being friends with a female usually ends up being more than that. No guy wants to just be a friend of a female.
No, I just don't.
9 times out of 10, you have 3 options. You've got, I want to have sexual relationships with you, and that's what some guys do, and they'll stick around for years. And the girl will put that as the reason. Oh, well, he has never came on to me, but once you give that opening, obviously he's going to.
Oh, and the second.
And then you have the second reason as to why guys are friends with a girl, because they want to be in a relationship with you. And sometimes that's where guys get friend zoned, because they get put in that little situation.
Friend zone.
They get put in that little situation where you're going to have to climb your way back out, and all they got to do is just flick their finger back at you, and you're just falling back into that zone.
And the friend zone is, to me, the dumbest thing out there, because you know what? Let's say your friend, hey, let's go hang out. Okay, she's my friend. He's my friend. She's my friend. Whatever they're like. You go out, and you go out to a bar, you go out to eat, you go out there, and they still expect you to pay for everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's wait a minute. If I'm your friend,
that's
you know what?
using-
I've hung out with Kelton several times. Never is Kelton looking at me like, hey, if I'm supposed to pay for it, hey, you're my buddy. You get your bill, I get mine. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
I mean, we might buy each other's drinks and stuff,
you
but that's
might do
different.
but this is they're looking at you like, okay, well, you're my friend. I don't need to pay for you, woman. It's like, what are you looking
And
at
then
me
they
for?
get
I
mad.
you
They're
bring
like,
money.
you're supposed to
offended.
pay for a woman. Like,
It's
no.
like, no, I'll
First
pay
of all,
for my
you're my
date.
friend. F-R-E-I-N-D or F-R-I-E-N-D.
Whatever the spelling is, you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. It's like, but I'm serious. Like, okay, if we're friends, we're gonna hang out. You called me. Well, your deal's on you, but that's that. So it's okay to get the benefits, but
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And
One way, but not
that's
the
where
other.
that third thing comes involved. Like, most guys that come in to be friends with girls, they want that relationship. They want an actual pure relationship, and they get it. So that's where those three things. That 9 out of 10, those three things are at the top of the list.
Yeah,
they're gonna happen. You're either gonna get put in friend zone. You're either gonna get used as a man using a woman trying to get into her pants, or the opposite. The woman's going to use the man to get in their pockets.
Yep.
And that's usually that's why I tell people the thing that I said on one of our last podcasts. Women look into a man's future while men look into a woman's past, because in a relationship, we want to see their past, because we want the truth of it. Like, if I'm going to be with you and you were a promiscuous woman, why would I sit there and involve myself? Yeah. If I feel like you may not be loyal to me, blah, blah, blah. Versus, they want to see what your future is because they want to be stable. They need someone to be there for them. They need someone to be financially, emotionally, and physically stable. They need that. Women require that. And they may say they don't, but in reality, you get in a situation that you have to call the cops, you're calling a man. Let's just be real.
Yeah. And on my part, it's like, okay, here's what I tell guys: don't invest into any somebody you're interested in if they're not interested in you. And if they put you in the friend zone, then go ahead and back out. Why are you going to invest time? Some men will do it.
And if you see those red flags,
they invest a lot of time, they invest a lot of money. They're there. They'll be the shoulder to cry on. I'll pick you up. I'll help you do this and like that, because they're hoping to get a chance to get into a physical, honestly, sexual relationship with this person. And they might be good guys and want a long term, but this woman already put them in the friend zone. And I said, well, then don't invest into that, because it's not going to go anywhere.
That goes back to that thing that I've said before, and a lot of people say it's a shoulders cry on, it's a to ride on. I'm not going to say it because of YouTube standards, but you all know what I'm saying.
No, I say if you can stay single, stay single.
Absolutely.
Go through your season.
I can say for pure surety that I am happy being single. It's created more of an environment that I'm at peace. And that's one thing that a man wants whenever he comes home. And a lot of women don't realize that. We want peace. We want to be able to come home and, after fighting the world, and come home to peace. And sometimes as men, we need to have that space to come. Like this amazing studio, I'm sure Frank has that peace. What do you think?
I might escape up here periodically.
But like, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
like, it's worth it. But whenever you're single, you automatically have that peace.
Yeah.
I mean, and you have to bask in it. Either that or you're going to get depressed. I mean, that is what it is. But you got to go through that thing. You have to go through those steps.
Enjoy your singleness. For me, look, if I find a good woman tomorrow, I will marry her Monday. I'll be honest with you. I'm looking for a woman I can wife. You know what I'm saying? I haven't found her. Until I find her, I'm gonna enjoy doing me right now. You know what I'm saying? And I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? And I want a woman. I don't need a woman. That's the thing.
It has to be the right one.
Yeah,
and you have time to
one.
sit there and think about.
But I'll find the right one.
Oh,
in a second. But I'll put a ring in her finger, buy her a house, get her a new car, and so scared. Let's do life together.
Can I be your wife? Can I be your wife?
Get out here, man. It's okay, man. You ain't gonna come out with something sooner or later. And Frank, see what I have to deal with. But seriously, yeah, I would. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for that woman I can wife. You know what I'm saying? It's just not like bash back. No. If I find that woman in a second, I will marry her.
I understand.
But until then, I'm just gonna enjoy
embrace
being
the single life, man. It's a whole nother step above that ideology of like, oh well, I need somebody, because once you learn that you can be so good inside without someone else being involved, the world changes.
Yeah.
It creates such a great perspective. I mean, there is times where you're going to have to work on yourself. You're going to have to create that internal problem-solving situation, whatever you've got going on, because everybody's different. Everybody's been through their own trauma. Everybody's been through their own situation. People have been cheated on. People haven't been cheated on. People have been the cheater. Everybody has their own situation, and sometimes you have to take a step back. And I guarantee you're going to get so much more out of taking that step back, staying away for a little bit, and just relax.
And working on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because this like, well, they're gonna like me for me, and that's it. No,
That's problematic.
That's not good. That's not good. Whether you be male or female, that's not good.
I should build you, and you should build me to cater to our own needs. Because I feel like as a man, I don't understand a lot of things that women need, and I need you to teach me. I truly do, and that's just what it is. But if you're not willing to also learn what I need, I don't need to even try at that point. Because if you're not going to put your effort into this relationship, because that's what that speaks.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's what that speaks.
Yeah, no, I got you. So, move forward. Just and another thing I'll tell you, if I'm single. I'm good being single.
Absolutely.
I'll find a good woman. I'll marry in a second. You work on yourself. I believe in, hey, man, but you also got to make your package desirable. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Man,
You've got to be presentable in some sort of manner.
Work on building your finances. Work on building a home. You know, in the Bible, when a man went to ask for father's hand in marriage, and he said yes, before they can even get married, the man had to already have a house built and established before he was allowed to marry her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have to prepare for
Got to have
stuff.
structure.
Yeah. Now, if I get married right now, I got something to put on the table and give to the woman. If I didn't, why the hell am I trying to pick up somebody and get them to marry me when I ain't got nothing to give them?
Yeah.
No, you got to do your part.
Absolutely.
While you're single.
I can understand that. That's very significant in the thought of that. Because if you think about that, that shows that to be able to bring a good woman into your house, you have to have your house stable.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Where you can have a broken home and it's like, hey, babe, I love you, marry you. Oh, by
Right.
the way, we ain't got I ain't got nothing to give you.
Well, there's
Hey,
times you're gonna go through things, but
Yeah.
that situation right there, if you're ready at the beginning, then you're good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
But
I got you.
I think this is gonna be the first part of this
Yeah, I
one.
think we'll go on
We've
to
got-
part 2.
For sure.
But let's go from right now.
Yeah.
So, my name's Miguel Perez, just in case you forgot.
My name's Kelton. I appreciate y'all watching, and
Thank
I
you
hope
to,
that y'all
okay.
enjoy this beautiful
Yeah.
space like we did.
Yes, thank you. Shout out to Frank. Thank you for letting us use your studio.
Glad to
awesome
be here.
job.
You guys did excellent. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get out here, move on to the next segment, and thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a good night or a
Jesus
good day,
loves you,
or
and so
whatever
do
is
I.
going
Come on.
on.
Godspeed.